This is Tech Talk on Valley View Radio 97.7. I am your host, Mavis, and today we'll be discussing the Metaverse. Last week we started our discussion. Today we are continuing with the Metaverse. So I want John Patrick to give us a quick recap on what we did last week.
Okay, sure. Last week we looked at what the metaverse is actually, and we learned that it is all about a virtual world where we are going to have everything. Having just as we have the physical world, the world is now going to be the digital one, where we can create avatars that will look like us and behave, feel, touch, jump, and even act as if it was actually raw. And that's what we said in, or we look at how the features of it, and we said VR and AR are going to be one of the things that is going to help us do all this. And I remember Pa giving example whereby we go to church or we stay, we feel we are in the church, in the physical space. However, we are still
Where we are.
yeah, that I mean the comfort of wherever we find ourselves, but doing something more raw, more beautiful. That's what the
Yeah.
metaverse is all about. Yeah,
All right. So what do you think of last week's discussion?
yeah, that was very much exciting. We got to know a lot about what the metaverse is, and we are looking forward to it. We understand that for now, it's not fully um in session, but it's under development. It's We are working on it, and we believe after some years we are going to see the reality of it. It's also a big place that's going to offer huge opportunities. I said that it's going to offer over $1 trillion to people. So there's going to be a lot to
Okay.
for people to benefit from.
All right. So if I remember clearly, last week you started with one of the benefits of the metaverse, right?
Yeah.
All right. So look at let's look at it.
Yeah. All right. So last week we said um, people are going to have beautiful experiences, and they will be happy. That's one of the things. So, but let's move quickly to we are one benefit of metaverse is there's going to be limitless possibilities for businesses. So, as shared in a study by JP Morgan's opportunities in the metaverse. Supply and demand dynamics are driving more people into the meta economy, and this will necessitate the development of new skills, generate new opportunities to make money. Global businesses from diverse industries will get the opportunity to maximize their scale by taking their operations virtual. Their services and corporations could easily reach the target audience present globally, making the functioning super easy and authentic, authentic for all the users. So what I'm trying to say is there's a limitless possibilities for everyone
Yeah.
in the metaverse. Businesses are just going to, and as I said last week, that we'll let's say you are a seamstress, you may not need the physical space, but you could have. You know, last week I mentioned of this company, Bices, who has a shop, but it is just a virtual shop. They don't have the physical space,
Mm-hmm.
so you put on your AR, and then you see all the items you want. If it's dress, you even have an avatar that it's just like you wear the dress, check the size and everything, and the feel is like you.
Mm-hmm.
When you like it, you place the order, and it's printed and sent to you,
Wow.
delivered to you.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah, that's a whole lot of possibilities. Then it's a solution to remote work. It's a solution to uh, remote work.
How is that?
As the pandemic took over the world, people had to choose an easier way to communicate and execute work. And so the solution to go virtual came up. Organizations began hosting meetings, conferences virtually. However, with the help of metaverse technology, a complete shift of work and office can take place in the 3D digital metaverse world. In this case, the users will be able to join their offices and work virtually in an immersive virtual environment. So, as it looks real, you feel like your colleague who you see at work is even by you, talking to you, moving, shaking hands, just as you do.
Mm-hmm.
So, this is going to help remote work. So, you just don't feel like lonely in the house, but you feel like what it is at working in the physical space.
Wow.
That's the same thing going to happen.
Okay.
And I know most of us like the virtual work. Sit at home, remote work.
I mean, who doesn't?
You get that thing.
Yeah.
But having to talk to people, having the feeling of talking to people is very much important. While you are home, it seems to be like you are alone and you could have
Yeah.
that.
It's boring.
You get that.
Yeah.
But if you are in the metaverse, you may not feel that loneliness. You see your colleague by you, could shake hands with you, and you feel like
But
something is
yeah, to
wrong.
work, why are you
But
shaking hands?
oh no, but you have friends, colleagues at the workplace. No, they make you feel
Yeah.
comfortable.
Yeah.
You talk, you that's what it is. Healthy environment at the workplace improve productivity.
Mm-hmm.
Then the next one we'll look at is a new way to e-learning. E-learning. So currently we have e-learning during the COVID. You
Yeah.
know that many schools adapted the e-learning form of learning, especially over here at Valley View University. The problem here currently is people log onto the platform and closes or leave their laptop to do something else.
Mm-hmm.
But in the metaverse, you get in as in yourself
Okay.
based on your avatar.
Your avatar.
The moment you move away, your avatar is seen being moved. So you'll be noticed that hey, you are not in the classroom.
Mm-hmm.
You are moving away or you are doing that.
Yeah.
So you sit, feel and enjoy your mates. Even when there are no teachers, that pep talks that goes on between teachers, you get to say this and that and that.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
going to be fun.
Yeah.
Just what it is to be in school. So you could have SRC week while you are home. E-learning thing.
Wow.
You get me?
Yeah.
So it's going to be very beautiful to have e-learning.
Okay.
Then we will have more savings, fewer expenses as one of the benefits. More savings. So as I said, using the Simtress, for example, wouldn't have to spend money on shop.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just start with the whole thing. Just get your reality stuff, and people just get on. It's just over there. You don't pay anything. You don't so that it go waste because no one is buying.
Mm-hmm.
Because people, you are sewing based on demand.
Yeah.
You get me?
Yeah.
So all is going to save money.
So that one
And
too, will she be sewing? Would the person be sewing in the meta?
no. You want the dress. You looked at it. It's so nice. Then you place your order.
Okay.
Then from there, the seamstress look at the order and then prepare whatever it needs she needs to do, then deliver it to you,
Okay.
and you get your dress. Payment is done so fast.
That's all.
I get it. So
Right.
let's look at another thing when it comes to events. So entertainment for that matter. So, as estimated, 86% of people who have attended virtual events report higher and equal levels of engagement. Saturday did this event with Sick, and if you watch through Sick, it looked as though you were present
Mhm.
at the event center. He held the event at the Independence Square. It was held at the Independence Square, and it's when you watch it, you feel the whole vibe. as if you were there. It was so beautiful. So that's what the metaverse is going to be like. And also, let me add this: as backed by research, the world has found it more beneficial to go virtual in terms of attending events. Metaverse brings a technological advancement that enables users to have even more immersive and engaging experiences at virtual events. With Metaverse, event organizers can go a level ahead to host memorable and successful events at ease. So you can create and you want a place, let's say in Ghana here, if you really want a place that people will sit at a capacity of over 2,000, you realize that it's difficult to get. So the best place to choose is the Independence Square, where um people will just go and stand. You get me?
Yeah.
Which is also one thing that looks a bit.
Mm,
You get it. But today with the metaverse, you could create your event space. The people join in to the avatar, and it could be as many as they want.
and
Enjoy it.
it's even solved this problem where people go get stranded,
You get that.
people can't find their items and
Yes,
all
and
that.
just as what happened at Tidal Reef, no one is going to tell anyone. You get your stuffs intact. You
Yeah.
get it.
You can't have beach experience.
So yeah, you just can't do everything. Is just going to look so perfect. Event organizers will not spend a lot of money trying to get this stuff, anything, and they will be able to design whatever that they want at um so easily.
Yeah.
Then this will also promote tourism. So you could be here and be touring a place like the Elmina Castle, but you are still here. Everything will just be done. At the end of the day, it's just to our own benefit. So that's these are some of the benefits you will get from the metaverse. It continues and so many.
All right.
Yeah.
So as Patrick was talking, I realized that some people are popping in, and so I have to introduce them. Right. He has been here before, but he's honoring us again with his presence. He is in the person of Samuel Oyinte.
Hi. Hi. Good afternoon to all your listeners, and good afternoon to you all here.
Speak.
Yeah. Good afternoon to all listeners, and good afternoon to the wonderful people here.
Yeah.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yes, you're welcome. And we also have our one and only Eugenia of the house.
Hello.
Yeah. So we are continuing with our discussion on the metaverse.
Yeah, sure.
So we've looked at some of the benefits of the metaverse quickly.
Please let me add this as a benefit: the gaming experience.
Okay.
Gaming, you know, many people like to play games.
Yes, a
and
lot. A lot.
That's going to really, really help them.
Yes.
So play a lot of games, beautiful, beautiful games. You can play them, and you can play anyone from anywhere in the world,
Wow.
which is going to be a beautiful experience. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. So quickly, we'll move on to look at the disadvantages of the metaverse. I know there are so many things going up in your head. I mean, metaverse can be all that, can it? Right. So we'll be looking at some of the disadvantages. Yes, Patrick.
Okay. So looking at the first one, we are when you look at the metaverse in totality, is just a digital world where it gives you an illusion that you are with people, you are seeing people around you, you are talking and all of that, but in reality, you are just alone.
So is it like you're deceiving yourself, or I mean, is it really happening, or you're just deceiving yourself?
So what was happening in the metaverse is also real that it was happening. However, the feeling of the experience of having to feel that you are not lonely, it's just an illusion. The truth is you are lonely. You are just there. You get me? That's the truth.
Yeah.
You are just being at wherever you are. So one of the problem this is going to look is going to bring is um this is going to affect human relationship. So people would like to be on their own because they've created an illusionary enjoyment somewhere. You get me? So they want to be there to have the enjoyment, but where this is going to be a bad thing when it comes to human relationship. You know that we are people that we need one another. Where you begin to be on your own, this is going to lead to some kind of depression and other things. You may think like, oh, even currently, let's look at social media. What's it doing? People just stay in their room the whole
Charlie.
day and they feel like not talking to anyone,
At all.
and they have their imaginary friends on Twitter or on TikTok or on something, and they think that's all.
Some people have best friends online.
Okay, yeah, but they are yet to meet and do all these things. So it's just going to affect human relationship, and that's one of the
Yeah. Ointe.
challenges.
Yes, as some for us. What are the disadvantages of the metaverse?
Okay. Thank you very much once again. And I think just like any other um, like technology in general, it has brought a lot of advantages. So in the same way, it also has disadvantages. Yeah. So just the way my brother said, John Patrick's, um, the feeling of you being, let's say, in a game where sometimes you can even forget that you are, in the actual sense, you are, it is an illusion. You understand? In the actual sense, you are real, but
Mm-hmm.
you are existing somewhere else. So that feeling, rightfully, just like Patrick said, it makes you somehow. But I think other disadvantage, one of the disadvantages of metaverse will be, some people have this kind of, do I say sickness? It's not sickness per se, where people, the motion, how do they call it motion?
Motion sickness.
Yeah, motion sickness,
Okay.
where when they're in a flight or in a car, they feel like throwing up and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see, with metaverse, in a way, today I was asking myself,
Mm-hmm.
say I have my what's it called, the
VR.
VR.
Yeah.
I have it on, and I'm in my room. Say my room is very small, compact, and perhaps fighting using in a game. Then all of a sudden I hit my hand against maybe my telly.
Just say Ajay and continue.
And I continue. So I was asking myself, and yes, I think that is also a disadvantage because you might be doing something. You might be in your room, in your maybe a comfortable place,
Mm-hmm.
maybe a small place, trying to have fun. But in other way, you're disturbing the people around you. Perhaps they don't understand the technology you are, I mean, enjoying.
People think I'm mad.
Exactly. Because they're like, what's this guy doing?
Mm-hmm.
Like you just imagine. So I think it also makes people around you feel, people who haven't, I mean, who don't have the know-how, the technical know-how, and the knowledge VR comes with, or the comfortability. People around might also think that you're vying off, you're going off as a normal human being, or just spec, and or yeah, in human being. You understand?
Yeah.
So I think it makes people around you, your cycles, who don't really understand technology, feel somehow. Yeah.
Okay. Patrick.
Yeah. Okay, so another challenge is going to be privacy and security issues.
Okay, how
So
is that going to be?
so we all know security is very much important, and things like this will only means that devices, a lot more devices had to be interconnected in order to see the fullness of metaverse. All of this will send us, will be sending in data and other things. How are they being kept? And today data, when you are around the cyberspace, you understand that it's a big thing.
Mhm.
People will say it is the good of today.
Yeah.
Yes, so it's really important. So one of the challenges is going to be a lot more of security. When the computer was made, or this networking internet things were made, it was for the interest of people that will do good to it. But it's also opening way for other things. People started using it to steal,
Mm-hmm.
harm, and do all other. So using people's information to do other things, impersonation and all of that. So
Yeah.
it's a really serious issue today. So privacy and security is going to be a big issue in the metaverse.
All right. So now you mentioned security, and then you also mentioned, digital security, right?
Yeah.
How about physical security? Is that also affected?
I think since metaverse is around digital space, so the focus is on digital space here. So not so much on physical security.
Okay. All right.
So
Yeah. The next one.
yeah, another challenge is that we are going to have people being separated from the real world.
Hmm.
You get me? Everything is just going to be artificial,
Yeah.
living the real world and how things are done. I hope you get me.
Yes.
Yes, and that's going to be a challenge when we come to the real space, the real world. We are to perform, behave, and then we find ourselves wanting.
Hmm.
How do we go about it? So these are challenges that metaverse could bring, and I think in the future, the future generations could not get at par with the physical world. They are to get to if they are to stage of the metaverse.
All right. So now a question pops up in mind. You see, with normal, tech and stuff, people barely take care of their physical health. Will the metaverse help with, health, or will it, I like spoil the case, cry?
Okay, I get you. It's a two-way thing. It's going to help, and it's also going to affect us. So help based in diagnosing, seeing your doctor, and other things. So, for example, you can be at anywhere and get to the hospital, talk to a doctor, and say whatever you want to say than going to the physical space, join a queue, and all of that. You get it?
Yeah.
And it will, due to the AI and other machine learning and stuff, we could be able to detect and do a lot more of things at a very at a top speed. Okay.
Okay.
However, these things could have effects on us. When you are addicted to the space, you may get depressed. Even with our current form, staying on social media for too long depresses.
Yeah.
So where you cut yourself away from the physical, the real people around you, to have real happiness, you may end up being depressed. So all of them, depression will lead to another thing,
Mm-hmm.
diabetes and other diseases that come along with. So
Yeah.
this these are some of the
Okay.
challenges we could get here.
All right. Oh,
I
Eugene.
think
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
Eugenia. Yeah,
you
Eugenia.
want to say something?
I want to add to what Patrick was saying. When using the cyberspace, it brings about laziness. One,
yeah,
Okay.
because me, for instance, if I know that
okay.
things can be ordered to my doorstep,
Right to your house.
going out, I won't do
Yeah.
that. And then this getting to know people and rest. when your mental health, emotional health, and
Mhm.
even physical health,
Yeah.
it's all part of human connections, because even your physical health also applies to your physical environment as well.
Yeah.
And if you don't have time to even go out to explore nature,
Mhm.
like get a little bit of sunlight,
Like
fresh
stuff
air,
like
and
that.
all those things, it will affect you physically.
True.
Then mentally too, not only depression. You might start having hallucinations, seeing things that are not even there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
you're
yeah.
seeing things that are
Because
not even there because now you've been in a room for so long and you've been on this space and everything. So you might end up seeing things that are not there, imagining weird things, and especially the gamers.
All right.
You get this, you begin to have this violent impulse because of the games and those
Yeah,
things,
yeah.
and it affects you.
All right.
Like this applies to these cases that in the US somebody will just pick a gun, go and shoot in a high school.
like,
Like
thinking is good. Thinking is good.
thinking is game.
Really?
Like this
Yeah,
separation
yeah,
of reality and the
sure,
cyberspace
sure.
becomes so thin. In fact, it becomes so blur. You
Yeah.
can't even differentiate between
Differentiate.
the real and the virtual space. Yeah.
Wow. Now, will the metaverse also help improve sleeping patterns, or it will spoil it for?
My own as sports.
Everyone
Right.
has sports.
Oh, but
In
maybe.
fact, even with our normal social media,
Mhm.
this and that, it's really robbing us a lot.
It's like
And
time is not present when you go to the cyberspace.
Okay.
yes,
Time is forgotten. So immediately you get there, like it's everything is
it's
afternoon,
enjoyment. Kwa, someone say enjoyment.
morning,
Kwa.
afternoon, evening, midnight. Everything is just
Ignore it.
everything is just
So you may not
ignored.
know
So you may not
it's
know.
even night that
You
you're
might not
sleep.
even know it's night, and it's actually more enjoyable during the night
Mhm.
because that one the
Experience
networks
everything.
are
Yeah,
faster.
you're talking
And
like you're in the metaverse.
Experience.
yes, it's
That's
true. Like during from a certain time, and even your internet service providers, they
Mhm.
even provide data which is more let me say less expensive than using during
Yeah.
the day. So all these things help to make everything faster. So in the cyberspace during
Midnight
that
bundle,
time,
Charlie.
you tell us to be a nocturnal person, even if you're not
Right.
one.
then remember you can be everywhere.
Mhm.
Mm.
And
So
so
you're
maybe.
in Ghana, it's night, all right,
Mhm.
but you can be in New Zealand where they are in the daytime, so you can join them to do.
Maybe I wear my VR and go and sleep in the forest.
Ah
That one
well.
too.
Well,
Am I physically
Oh
you
yeah,
have a
but
lot
sleeping?
of
that's
Or
also going to be something cool. So,
Hmm.
however,
So.
it still depends on how we use the technology.
Mhm.
You get me?
Yeah.
It's still going to depend on how we use the technology.
Okay. So right now, what is the actual or the main goal of the metaverse? Why the metaverse?
So, looking from the benefits we mentioned earlier, it's all in the interest of um, human to making things better, getting things done more quickly, and seeing reaping the benefits of it in totality. It is the idea of the creators is not to cause harm. That's the first thing. But it is how we use the object or how we use it. So taking it from the Bible, God created everything, created human. But it is based on how human had to do. In God's own thinking, He's looking at having perfect people enjoying and having the better life for themselves. But unfortunately, it got to a point, we turned the thing into another way,
Mm-hmm.
and it also led to another thing, of which we are here today.
Asafo.
However, what I mean to say is the creators are of the positive mind, are having the positive
Yeah.
mind. They are looking at it as making us comfortable so as they also benefit from it. Getting job done. Don't go and look for job. Have the experience you want to have. You want to go to America to have some, go to the Madison Square to enjoy Whiskey or someone there. But you can't go. Just be in your house, in Oyibi
No visa.
and be no visa, go to Madison Square and enjoy.
But I'm sure there'll be police
gets
in the
me.
metaverse, right? There will be people
Well,
like that who
let's
can
wait and
stop
see.
you or something. Or Eugenia.
Certainly, I think
Let's wait and see. That will be based on the way we are going to be using it.
The way you be using it,
will
but
be determined how.
yeah,
Then
we are monitored one way or the other.
Mhm.
We are monitored, even though yes, there's freedom and everything. We are kind of still ghetto. Like if you do something that goes too extreme, I think you'll be caught and punished.
Okay. I
Can I say
think.
something?
All right. Yeah. Sure.
And I also think there could be laws
Okay.
that will also help govern the usage.
I mean, there should be, right?
Certainly, because just you can't just be in a virtual world and be doing things that you please like anyhow without being governed by any law or rule. So that should be a police in that world.
Okay. So let's say if someone shoots you in the metaverse, will it affect you physically?
we should understand that the metaverse is just a digital representation of things. So
If
yourself.
if it affects you physically, like most of us will be here, we play games, they shoot us all the time.
Yeah.
I
So
know.
you
I'm
get
dead.
it. So yeah.
You know.
You come back
It's
again.
just so that's why we need to understand that it's just an imaginary thing.
It's illusion.
So it is not actually raw, but it is made in such that you become happy, have fun. That's it. It's just to create something. So if you are playing game, these shootings,
It's
and
more of a
bam,
brain
you
stimulant
get here,
thing,
it's just to
but
help
not
you.
really
But
affecting
it
you
is not
physically.
actually raw. But that's where the problem comes in that Eugenia said earlier. So someone playing these things comes out is unable to differentiate between the physical space, the real space, and then the virtual one. She then takes gun and thought it's still the game and starts shooting people. Bang, 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 bang. Get it? That's going to be a problem.
Oh, but like, how can you be? You come out here still thinking you're in the metaverse.
Oh yeah, you don't know.
Yeah,
People have that. Even normal um entertainment. People just feel like now they are people just are clouded by certain things. They cannot really think to know that at this point in time, I am here, I need to behave this way. I'm there, I need to behave that way. So they just behave the way they think it should go. That's how. They don't care about the setting. They just do anything they want.
Then please, I hope there'll be a psychiatric ward in the metaverse.
oh, there is this writer Jeffrey Deaver. He wrote a book
Okay.
like the Blue Nowhere. It spoke more of this. I don't know. It was more because it was that early. Let me say it was around 2001.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and to see the things he wrote, it was more like he was predicting what will be happening now. Because what he wrote in the book, most of it are happening now. It was about two guys, even though they are so into the blue noir. One was so into it, he couldn't differentiate between the physical. So now he was actually killing. He became a serial killer
Oh.
due to those things. And he thought it was just a game simulation.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's
That is how into the ways that, and now he was rather respecting machines and seeing human beings rather as nothing.
Machines.
So he
Wow.
would just
And
be
the
killing.
machines are the humans.
Like he rather respect if something is to happen to his machine, he rather feels connected to the machine, but he just sees human beings as nothing because that human connection was not there. So,
So,
easy,
so,
yeah.
so should we be scared or yeah?
Well,
we can relax.
Well, you can relax. What the others got into, there's nothing like relaxing.
Yes, so to say that the metaverse is undoubtedly the next big step in the creation of human history. Or is the next thing to talk about in human history. However, the impact and influence of this advancement on the world's growth, development, and evolution depends a lot on us and how we use it.
Yeah.
So it comes back to us.
Okay.
The thing there is good, but how you use it.
Yeah.
So the knife is good to cut items,
Okay.
but it is Now to you, how you are going to use the knife.
Right.
Are you cutting something proper? Or what must
Oh,
I
you have
cut?
become Jeffrey Dahmer.
Really.
Yeah, so
All right. So we are closing the curtain on the metaverse.
yeah.
So I want to hear the last words you have, the conclusion. What do you think?
Okay, I think they have the microphone. Let them start
All
first.
right. Okay, Eugenia.
Well, what I can say is you just have to be extremely careful, and no matter how you use the metaverse, you should also seek human connection.
Okay.
Just keep some friends, be healthy
Mhm.
physically, mentally, emotionally, because the metaverse is here to stay. It's not because of you to close down.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
All right.
Sure. People are
Okay.
putting a lot of money into it. Then we should understand that it's just going to be a whole new world in totality, just as we see we have economy, we have currency, we have everything. That's also going to be. We are going to have these virtual currencies, crypto, and then the rest. It is all going to be built on blockchain, and that's going to be beautiful. We can't wait for the future.
Yeah.
Maybe we may not live to see the totality of it, but it will still happen, as Eugenia said.
All
It
right.
will still come, no
Yeah.
matter how you think you are scared of it will still come.
What do you
Yeah.
think? No matter how you run, you can't hide.
Yes, it
It's
is.
not your turn.
Okay, so just like the internet,
Mhm.
right?
Sure.
Let's beware. The internet has come to stay. You know how you use it, the good and the bad. We have it there. So just like the internet, so is metaverse. So we should be conscious on how we use it. And again, just rightfully, just the way
Eugenia.
Eugenia said, it has come to stay,
Yeah.
and that is the future. So we have to psych ourselves and get ready for the future.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right. And let me also say mine. All right. So just like fire is a good servant but a bad master, same way the metaverse too can be very useful in our
You
lives.
see that?
Yes. So we need to control how we use it. And I think we'll all be happy. Yeah.
Security.
Yeah, Christian.
Check the group. The
Christian
group
is saying it.
Eugenia, check the group. They sent some security something in the closer this one.
What about okay?
So just last week when I said the password, so you can say another so that we cover all that.
of information security policies, procedures, and that you can use to identify, contain, and eliminate cyber attacks. So the goal of incident response is to enable an organization to quickly detect and halt all cyber attacks, minimizing damage and preventing future attack. So as a organization, you should have your plan set out when it comes to incident response so that you would be able to detect cyber attacks as of when it's coming in real time and how you can stop it and not prevent the attacker going deep into your organization and Charlie destroying everything because who would want this organization to be brought down by cyber attack or let's say everything is down, you can't work again and all that. So um, with that, I'll quickly go deep into the 6 steps or the phases that we should quickly look into in order to detect cyber attacks and how we can prevent it. So one is preparation of systems and procedures. So you need to prepare your system and the procedures that you need to write it down. So in case there's an incident, how are you going to tackle it and all that? And identification of incidents what will let you know that this is a cyber attack and all that you need to be very good in or at least have the knowledge about that and containment of attackers and incident activities. So in case of any cyber attack, how do you prevent the hacker from even doing much more and how do you prevent the incident from getting out of hand and all that. Yeah, and eradication. The fourth one is eradication of attackers and re-entry options. So eradication of attackers and entry options. So how do you stop the one getting into your system, your network, you know, like how do you prevent the person totally and not coming in back again? Because with when it comes to hacking, there's a term called backdoor. So someone can just enter into your network, then just create a backdoor. So even if you think the person is outside your network, the person can just pass through the backdoor, like and just get in and without your knowledge, you think the person is out of the way, but still the man in the spirit inside your network and causing more damage. Yeah. So, and then number five is recovery from incidents, including restoration of system. And I'll quickly add the number six, lesson learned and application of feedback to the next round of cover these incidents. In case something happened to your organization, how are you going to recover the stuff that you lost, maybe the system that was hacked and all that your information you lost, like what are the recovery processes and also you need to learn from what mistakes that happen or what led to that kind of attack. So you learn from them, then you build upon it so that when something similar is coming in, you can detect it fast and then prevent it from happening. So yeah, this is the cyber tips for the week.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm sure we